peregrine falcon. The peregrine falcon does not hunt like other birds of prey. It hunts like gravity with a personal vendetta. This bird holds the official title of fastest animal on the entire planet, and it earns that title in the most theatrical way possible. Spotting prey far below, it climbs high into open sky, folds its wings into a tight teardrop, and simply drops. This dive, called a stoop, can hit speeds well over 300 kilometers per hour, faster than most sports cars, except this one has feathers and a very specific taste for pigeons. The impact alone usually ends things before the chase even feels like it began. Peregrines live on nearly every continent, from remote Arctic cliffs to city skyscrapers, because to a falcon, a skyscraper is just a very tall, very convenient cliff. Urban pigeons, your commute just got considerably more dangerous. Once nearly wiped out by pesticides, this species clawed its way back in one of conservation's great success stories. Relentless, precise, and genuinely terrifying at full speed, the peregrine remains the sky's undisputed champion. Falcon. If the peregrine is the fastest, the falcon is simply the biggest bully on the block. It is the largest falcon on Earth, built less for elegance and more for raw, unapologetic power. Living across the frozen tundra of North America, Europe, and Asia, it skips the dramatic vertical dive entirely, favoring a long, punishing low chase that runs ptarmigans into the ground until exhaustion finishes the job for it. Its plumage ranges from pure white to dark slate gray, which sounds like a paint swatch, but works as near perfect camouflage against endless snow. Falcons were once so prized that medieval falconers reserved them exclusively for royalty. Apparently even birds of prey have a class system. Life in the Arctic means brutal cold, scarce prey, and months of darkness, yet the falcon does not just endure it, it thrives in it, almost daring the weather to try harder. Massive and built like a heavyweight boxer with wings, it is the true powerhouse of the falcon world. Saker falcon. The saker falcon prefers a different arena altogether, the open grasslands and dry steppes of Europe and Asia. Instead of chasing prey through the air, it targets animals down on the ground, especially ground squirrels that assume they are safe simply because they never left the dirt. They are badly mistaken. The saker launches a fast, low, gliding attack skimming just above the grass tops, giving its target almost no warning before it is already too late to matter. It is patient too, often watching silently from a high perch for long stretches before ever committing, like a hunter unwilling to waste energy on a bad bet. Historically one of the most prized birds in falconry across the Middle East, prized to the point of near obsession. That same reputation has unfortunately fueled illegal trapping, and wild numbers have dropped sharply as a result. Bold, calculated, and dangerously efficient across open terrain, the saker falcon is the steppe's quiet but deadly specialist. American kestrel. Do not let the size fool you. The American kestrel is North America's smallest falcon, roughly the size of a mourning dove, yet it hunts like nobody told it that size was supposed to matter. Its signature move is hovering, holding perfectly still in midair, on rapidly beating wings while scanning the ground for insects, small rodents, and lizards, looking almost like it is cheating the laws of physics for a living. Even more impressive, kestrels see ultraviolet light, which lets them spot the glowing urine trails voles leave behind in the grass, essentially reading a rodent highway that is completely invisible to us. Once a trail is found, it is one short, sharp dive, and the hunt is already over before the vole even understood there was a threat in the first place. Found in fields, deserts, roadside fences, and even busy city parks, the American kestrel proves that deadly never required size, only precision. Do you find these kinds of surprising, brutal hunting tricks just as fascinating as I do? This is exactly the kind of content I publish week after week, so if these hidden hunting strategies are pulling you in, don't miss out. Subscribe now. Eurasian hobby. The Eurasian hobby specializes in something most predators would never even attempt, catching other flying animals in midair at full speed without ever slowing down. This falcon is a master of aerial pursuit, snatching dragonflies, swallows, and even bats directly out of open sky, often mid-turn. Watching a hobby hunt feels like watching a mid-air game of tag, where only one player actually knows the rules, and it never loses. It breeds across Europe and Asia, before migrating enormous distances to Africa for the winter, chasing summer insects across 2 entire continents in the process. Its long, pointed wings and razor-sharp turning ability let it match the erratic, darting flight of its prey, something almost no other bird can replicate. Hobbies favor hunting over wetlands right at dusk, exactly when swarms of insects fill the evening air like a buffet nobody asked for. Agile and built for chaos in 3 dimensions, the Eurasian hobby proves some of the deadliest hunters never even touch the ground. Lanner falcon. The Lanner falcon takes a far more cooperative approach to violence than most of its relatives. Found across Africa, the Middle East, and southern Europe, it sometimes hunts in pairs, working together to flush out and corner prey, turning one bird into a coordinated 2-pronged assault. One falcon drives the target out of cover, while the other waits patiently to strike, an ambush strategy as clever as it is effective. Lanners hunt birds mid-flight and small mammals on open ground, switching techniques depending entirely on the terrain in front of them. Their speed and agility are impressive on their own, but it is that willingness to actually collaborate that sets them apart from most solitary falcons, a rare case of birds actually splitting the workload. Habitat loss and illegal trapping for the falconry trade have sadly put real pressure on wild numbers. Clever, cooperative, and dangerously well organized, the Lanner falcon proves that teamwork was never just a human invention. Merlin falcon. The Merlin falcon is small, fast, and has zero interest in giving its prey anything resembling a fair chance. Slightly larger than the kestrel, it specializes in surprise attacks, flying low and fast just above the ground, or straight through dense brush to ambush small birds before they even register the threat exists. There's no soaring, no lazy circling overhead, just a sudden blur of feathers and then complete silence. Merlins are found across North America, Europe, and Asia, often in open country and coastal areas where small flocking birds gather in large numbers. Their style is so direct that falconers once nicknamed them the perfect assassin of the bird world, a reputation earned entirely through brutal, no-nonsense efficiency. Merlins have even been seen hunting in loose pairs during migration season, doubling the odds against unsuspecting prey below. Compact, aggressive, and shockingly effective for its size, the Merlin proves that size is often the least important weapon in the animal kingdom. Prairie falcon. The prairie falcon rules the dry grasslands and rocky canyons of western North America, and it hunts like the landscape itself as part of the plan. Rather than relying purely on raw speed, it often launches ambush attacks straight from cliffside perches, using the terrain to stay hidden until the very last possible second. Ground squirrels, small mammals, and unsuspecting birds all fall victim to this sudden low-altitude assault, one that arrives with almost no warning whatsoever. Its sandy brown coloring blends perfectly into the dusty cliffs and canyon walls it calls home, essentially turning the entire desert into a built-in camouflage suit. Prairie falcons are also remarkably tolerant of extreme heat and bone-dry conditions, thriving in landscapes that would exhaust most other birds of prey within days. Despite its intimidating hunting style, the species still faces ongoing threats from habitat disturbance and human development near its nesting cliffs. Patient, camouflaged, and perfectly adapted to arid extremes, the prairie falcon is the desert's silent executioner. So, do these deadly little precision killers fascinate you just as much as they fascinate me? This is exactly the kind of content I publish every single week. So like this video, share it with someone who loves wildlife, and subscribe so you never miss the next one.